Hey lighting fanatics, today I'm going to be showing you my lighting finds from yesterday at two different thrift stores. I went to two thrift stores down in Newport Richey, Florida yesterday. One of them was a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store and the other one was just a Salvation Army thrift store. These finds right here came from the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store, and these two things back here came from the Salvation Army thrift store. So first, let's take a look at the things from the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store. Let's take a look at this item first. This is a GE 55 watt 2D fluorescent bulb. I have a 2D fluorescent torchlight lamp that uses this type of bulb. So this is pretty nice to have, another replacement bulb. This is advertised as a torchlight 250 bulb. It's a 2D energy saver, 9-year life. And then they have all this marketing material here, and I find some of this kind of funny because, yeah, of course it's quiet. It's a bulb, not a ballast. Of course it starts flicker free. Well, it's not a ballast, so that doesn't really have anything to do with this. So I find that kind of funny. And then they have some actual specifications over here. Here's the back of it. Looks pretty similar to the lamp I have. It just has the little electronic ballast thing in there. And then you just plug the bulb in there. Contains mercury. Let's go ahead and take this out of here so you can see it. This is kind of hard to get out of here. So there it is. Just your standard GE 2D bulb. I always like the plastic embossed design that they put on these bulbs here. And then here's our real etch. Ooh, they even tell you that it's amalgam. That's kind of interesting. There you go. This is an amalgam bulb. So the mercury is amalgamized in there. So there we go. There's that. This will be nice to have as a replacement for that torchlight lamp. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some of these packaged bulbs over here. The first one that we will take a look at here is this Abco 130 volt, 40 watt clear round bulb. This is a G16.5 globe with a candelabra base. I always loved this older Abco packaging. I think they did a good job with this. Here's some more information. Copyright 1988. So this is a little bit older than most of the Abco bulbs that you see. But still very cool. And then there's the top. It is a clear, round, 40 watt, 130 volt bulb. 2500 hours candelabra base. Yeah, this is one of those bulbs that I find the packaging a little bit more interesting than the actual bulb itself, because if we take this out of here, this is just a very typical G16.5 bulb, but on some of these bulbs it's really the packaging that is the interesting part of it. So there's that. Mostly got that for the packaging. And sometimes these bulbs, like, people put them in the fixture and then they throw out the box. So sometimes these boxes are a little bit harder to find than the actual bulb itself. So it's always nice when you find them with the box. Speaking of boxes, this box is very weird. This is a GE quartz line lamp, of course, which in other words is a halogen MR16 bulb. Got a very simple top, just a GE quartz line lamp and the simple drawing of it. Then on this side we have a barcode and some information about it. It is a 120 volt, 250 watt MR16. Man, that is bright. Then on this side we have some information about best performance for it in several different languages. Then on this side it just says Made in USA, 1 lamp. And on this side we have some caution information. And then we're back here again. And then on this side it says GE lighting, yada yada. But I think this packaging is very strange. I've never seen anything like this, just the one side of it, in, like a bunch of caution information, that, like, this is very interesting. Obviously, this is some kind of specialty packaging and not, like the marketing filled consumer packaging. This is very interesting to me. We have, I guess that's the same caution information, just repeated in different languages. I guess this was sold all over the world, like we got the CE logo there. And then here's the bulb itself. It does not have a glass front on it, so you gotta be careful not to touch that halogen capsule in there. And speaking of that, looks like we have a very coiled up filament in there. And then there's the base of it. And that's part of the etch. There's the rest of it. Is a GE 250 watt 120 volt. So there we go. And of course, like, the packaging is interesting inside too, because it just kind of sits there, and then it's kind of vibration resistant. I don't know. Very interesting box though on this. The bulb is interesting and the box is interesting on that one. And again, speaking of boxes, this is actually a bulbless box. I saw this sitting there, in their bins of light bulbs, and of course it didn't have the bulb in it, and I couldn't find the bulb, so I just decided to get just this box, because this is interesting in and of itself. This is a Vogue branded. I've never really heard of that brand before. Pre-tested bulb designed for beauty and long life. It's a teardrop bulb according to them. It's just a bullet-shaped bulb, pretty typical. You'd use it in like your wall sconce or your chandelier or whatever. Guess this one's more for regular fixtures because it has a medium base. Okay. On this side of it, again, Vogue. The packaging is kind of torn up, but whatever. They show a chandelier, quality, elegance, and performance. Same thing again as the front, and then same thing as that other side. And then on this side, we get another brand, Yorkville. I have actually heard of that brand before. They made a lot of bulbs, I think back in the 80s, I don't know. But I guess this is one of their brands, Vogue, pre-tested. And then again, same thing on this side. This bottom was kind of torn up, so I repaired it with some tape. But just an interesting box, in and of itself. And I think I have a similar bulb even in my collection that probably is similar to this bulb that was in here. But just the packaging and the brand and all that is very interesting there. So I just had to pick up that box even if it didn't have the bulb itself. Alright, well, those are all the packaged bulbs that I got from the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store. So let's take a look at these non-packaged ones here. Starting with this one. This is a Sylvania 26 watt Commonwealth Edison bulb. Commonwealth Edison was, or I think they're still around actually today. It's an electric utility. And at one point in time, they introduced these bulbs, and I think they'd give them to you for free. And you could just order these bulbs and use them, and they were free. And they always said, like, a little bit above their actual wattage. Like, This one's 26 watt. It's supposed to be a 25 watt bulb, but it says 26 initial watts on it. So that's something they did. I don't know, it must have been some kind of scam or something. But like that's what they all said. And they were all made by big manufacturers. Like this one's a Sylvania. There were Westinghouse ones. I think there were GE ones. I think Sylvania and Westinghouse are the most common, especially Sylvania. But you know, other than the Commonwealth Edison part of it, this is just your standard inside frost 25 watt bulb here, short neck A19. But a very nice bulb at that. I always think these short neck 25 watt bulbs look pretty neat. So there's that. And then we have another 25 watt Sylvania bulb here. But this one is a little bit more interesting. It's a red bulb. Now the etch on this one is going to be very hard to see. You can kind of see it, but let me see if I can get a light here so you can see it better. There we go, you can kind of see it a little bit better. It is a Sylvania 25 watt, 125 to 130 volt group replacement bulb. I guess this is supposed to be like a party bulb or a sign bulb or something. But this is pretty much just your regular old party bulb, just your transparent red bulb, you know. Does have a pretty nice brass base on it. So very nice on this. And a very retro looking etch too. Love that. So there's that bulb. And then we have a couple of 65 watt BR30 bulbs over here. I really just got these from my stash of incandescent bulbs for future use, because these are pretty boring bulbs. I like to pick up these boring modern bulbs for my stash, you know, just to have them here. This one is a Philips, made in China, 620 lumens. And then this one, I guess, is just a little bit more interesting. It's an SLI lighting, 65 watt, 130 volt, extra life. And this one actually has a brass base. That's kind of nice, I guess. But again, these are just pretty boring, typical reflectors. Mainly just got these for the stash. So there's those. Well, that's all the stuff that I got at the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store. So let's take a look at the things I got from the Salvation Army. Let's take a look at this one first. This is another clear globe bulb, but this is a G25 version. It's a Sylvania. Now again, this is one of those instances where the packaging is really more interesting than the bulb itself. I have never seen this packaging before. This is very interesting to me. It's kind of a purple and pink striped thing. It's advertised as a Mood Glow bulb, which I guess is referring to its globe shape, but I don't know how that really affects its glow or whatever. It's a 60 watt bulb. It is a GTE Sylvania bulb. Here's some more marketing material about it. Here's the other side of it, same thing as the front. And then I guess I paid $2 for it. So that's the Sylvania Mood Glow packaging. I think this is very interesting. I've never seen this packaging before. So let's actually go ahead and take this bulb out so you can get a better look at it. You can kind of already see the brass base, which is very interesting. I guess it has to come out the top. Some of these Sylvania packages, they come out on the bottom. Some come on the top. Looks like I gotta clean it a little bit, but there it is. Got a nice C-shaped filament in there and a brass base with a blue glass insulator. Interesting. But yeah, just your typical G25 60 watt bulb. Clear, of course, but with atypical packaging. I've never seen this packaging before, and it's very interesting to me. The Mood-Glo branding, you know, all that design of it. This is really cool packaging. So we're gonna keep this around. So there's that. And then finally, I'll fix that later, we have this. A Satco R20 indoor reflector, but this is the 75 watt version. Now, R20s actually came in several different wattages. You had your 30 watt, your regular 50/45 watt, your 75 watt, and your 100 watt. The 100 watt specifically was used in like pools and spas and stuff, and some lava lamps. But all the other wattages were used in regular indoor general lighting. So anyway, now I have the 75 watt R20. I think the only one I don't have is the 100 watt. This packaging is kind of neat. Got some nice pictures and stuff. So there's that. Ooh, again, another nice brass-based bulb. But other than that, it pretty much just looks like your standard R20. But again, it's 75 watt. It's always nice to find these non-standard reflector wattages. Most of the ones that you see nowadays are 50 watt or 45 watt. The 45 watt is the energy saver, quote-unquote, version of the 50 watt. Well, those were all of my lighting finds from yesterday at the two thrift stores, the St. Vincent de Paul and the Salvation Army. Some very interesting bulbs here, the 2D, the old Sylvania 25 watt bulbs, that quartz line GE. Too bad I didn't get the Vogue candle bulb itself, but even just the box for it is pretty interesting. And then that Sylvania globe box. I've never seen this before. It's always interesting when you find just the regular, typical, kind of boring bulbs, and then you find the box for it and you realize the box is pretty cool. Well, if you enjoyed what you saw, be sure to leave a like down below. Feel free to leave a comment. And if you want to see more cool lighting videos in the future, be sure to subscribe. See you next time.